All right, this was originally supposed to be a Viva on the street. I have my beautiful wide-angle lens that I was looking forward to use, but it is just too windy out there, so we're going to have to do... Who's this? That is my wife asking for dinner. Okay, I'm just gonna have to do this in the car. Quick update, because we actually have updates on the Viva on the street, Canada, Quebec Curfew situation, whatever. The updates. Our supreme benevolent leader, François Legault, has graced us with an additional hour and a half before which the curfew starts. You will recall that we started a 4-week curfew 11 weeks ago? No, how many? 10 or 11 weeks ago. January 9th to February 9th, we were supposed to be under a 4-week curfew because the hospitals were at their capacity, apparently. Even though our own health director, Horacio Arruda, said that there is no concrete evidence to support the effectiveness of curfews, despite the absence of concrete evidence to support the effectiveness of curfews to fight a virus, they imposed a 4-week curfew that is still in effect. But in the time that they started the curfew, and the 10 weeks that followed, we had a little thing called daylight savings time. We had to push the clocks back an hour. So spring ahead, you get an extra hour of sunlight, which would have meant that people would have been entering the week 10 of lockdown curfew when it's still flipping light outside. And so our government, because François Legault listens to the science that his own health director says does not exist, they graced us with an additional hour and a half before which the curfew starts. So it starts at 9:30. And I also want to highlight that not only did our health director say that there's no concrete evidence to support the curfew to fight a virus, a lot of people have rightly pointed out that it's actually totally counterintuitive, because all you end up doing is getting people to concentrate in stores during the opening hours, whereas they might have otherwise gone in the evening and you would have otherwise diluted the concentration of people. What can you do when your premier is imposing measures that their own health director says have no scientific basis? Which brings me to the other point. I will give our government a hard time, especially when they deserve it. François Legault, it was either Sunday or Monday, posts a picture on Twitter saying, "I had a wonderful meeting with Justin Trudeau," and it's the two of them seemingly alone in a room. It looks actually like a room in a courthouse or a prison, but seemingly alone, just the two of them in the picture. They're both wearing face masks, and they're separated by plexiglass. Okay, I know what everyone says about the science and about the face masks and about the plexiglass, but there does strike me as being something somewhat show-worthy about that, or what they say, virtue signaling about that. To have two members of the government meeting in a room where presumably they are being tested regularly, wearing face masks divided by plexiglass for a photo op, and François Legault, no less, is holding an upside-down empty glass of water. So I made a joke about it because I said, this looks ridiculous. This is theater. 2 days later, François Legault posts on Twitter yet again another meeting. This time there's at least 6 to 8 people in the picture. They're sitting around a boardroom table, and he is yet again saying, "I had a nice meeting with whomever." Nobody is wearing a face mask in that picture. There is no plexiglass. There is no magical dividers. It is just 6 to 8 people sitting around a boardroom table. No face masks. So I point this out on Twitter, and I put up a tweet that has these side-by-side pictures. What happens? 5 hours after that post of people sitting at a boardroom table with no masks, no dividers, no nothing, François Legault posts another picture about another meeting, and lo and behold, they're all magically wearing face masks. And it's the same boardroom, it's the same day, you can see the same television in the background, because I guess he got caught not following the science. And I tongue-in-cheek said, well, I guess all of you are going to get tickets, right? Because you're not even following your own laws. Unless, of course, the laws don't apply to you. Or even if they do and you find yourselves, you're just going to pay it with our taxpayer dollars anyhow, so you'll just be punishing us a second time. That is the update on the curfew front. But an actual meaningful update is... oh, we've lost a lot of light here. Okay, we'll finish this up quickly. Make sure I'm in focus. An actual meaningful update is that the pastor, James Coates, out of Alberta, who has been imprisoned now for over a month because the underlying infractions were a violation of 2 or 3 Public Health Act violations. He has been imprisoned for a month because he refused to agree to bail terms which would have precluded him from hosting service at his church, the Grace Life Church. He's been in jail for over a month. They have just announced that they're going to release him from jail, and the Crown is going to drop all but one of the charges, the underlying charges for which he had bail imposed that he did not abide by, that led to him being held in jail. And appreciate that the underlying infractions themselves never had jail time. They could never carry jail time. The only infraction that could carry jail time was him breaching the orders of his bail, which was the consequence of the 2 or 3 Health Act, what is it? Public Health Act. It's Public Health Act violations that were slapped on him. So he was being held in jail as a result of violations for which there was no jail time, but because he refused to agree to certain bail conditions or allegedly breached the bail conditions, which itself can carry, I think it's upwards of 2 years in prison, he was imprisoned for over a month, only to see the Crown drop the charges, all but one, and agree to release him. Now, according to the JCCF, which is the Justice Centre for Constitutional Freedoms of Canada, they are representing him. They say that the only reason one of the charges was not dropped is that they insisted on having a trial for that so the Crown can come and make evidence, scientific evidence justifying the measures they imposed that led to the infractions that led to Pastor Coates being jailed for over a month. I'm not sure if that's spin. I'm not sure if the Crown said we will release him and drop all but one of the charges because we all want to have our W here. But that is the update. Pastor Coates is going to be released from jail. If it's not tomorrow, it might be the day after. And he's going to go to trial on the one remaining infraction in the month of May. And we're going to see what happens when the JCCF and his attorneys require the government to produce evidence to justify and explain the measures that they have imposed on Canadians. That's the update, and we have lost our light. The only thing... Oh, well, we got a car coming up, which is going to allow me to refocus one more time. That is the update. Stay tuned to check everything out on the channel. Check out my second channel, Viva Family, if you want some non-vloggy stuff that might make you smile, might distract you from what's going on in the world. And that is it. What do we say, Winston? Now you know your vlog. Peace out.